Hi, this is Kerry Artak with Wicked Stocks bringing you the daily Apple report for Monday, May 8th, 2023. Before I jump into the charts and talk about that buy signal last week, I just want you to please click like if you haven't already. It helps us out a great deal in being found on YouTube, and become a Wicked Stocks YouTube channel subscriber. You'll be provided notification each and every time new content has been uploaded. That includes the daily Apple and the daily Tesla report and our occasional free stock pick we put out on YouTube. And also check out wickedstocks.com, where we offer a full subscription package that includes daily analysis in the Triple Q, daily analysis in the SPY, just like you see in Apple and Tesla, weekly analysis in the S&P 500, NASDAQ 100, and the long bond ETF, the TLT, as well as two individual stock picks every week that you never see on YouTube, all for $47 a month. And we offer a 5-day free trial that goes with it. So if you don't like it within 5 days, you can bail out at no cost to you. Anyway, you're looking at a chart right now, Apple weekly bar chart. We clearly settled above that 171.18 channel top last week, and that has indicated another significant show of long-term strength. The last time we had a show of long-term strength, or at least the possibility thereof, was in early January when we actually tested the channel bottom and came close to testing that speed line. But there were a few things going on. If you've been a follower of the Apple report now for the last 6 months, you know that there were a number of things going on in that area. We broke to the channel bottom within 1%, so forth and so on. It was targeted support in the lower to mid 120s, able to contain selling on a quarterly, possibly annual basis. And I mentioned at the time that once tested and following that test, that the low 170s channel top should be considered reachable by some point in 23. There were a series of buy signals on the way up that accelerated all that. And so here we are. After a minor hesitation, really, we are in a show of strength that I'm guessing, not just guessing, I'm indicating will likely play out through the rest of the year, ultimately anticipating this long-term channel top here, 217.88 and rising weekly, as I'm going to say a 5 to 8 month target. Now, the timing of that is next to impossible. We have 182.94, which is the January 22 all-time high, that I'm going to say is a 2 to 3 to 5 week buy target now, able to contain weekly buying pressures. So holding above 171.18, 182.94 likely over the next 3 to 5 weeks or sooner. Could be within 2 to 3 weeks. We'll just have to see how that all plays out. So that is the big picture over the next 5 to 8 months, 217.88 and rising. So right now, if you bought any of those out of the money puts we'd mentioned as we were pushing into the low 170s last week, whether they were 162, 152, or 142 out of the money puts, for instance, they should be liquidated. And you could reach for 182 or 183 out of the money calls that don't expire for at least a month. I'd go a couple of months out on that. And or the 220 to 240 out of the money calls that don't expire for at least a full year. I don't think it'll take that long, but I think 5 to 8 months would be in the realm of possibility there in terms of reaching this 217.88 channel top. So that is the big picture. And the daily chart comes in at 171 even. You can see both here on the right. That is our base of support. I'm still calling it annual containment. In other words, able to contain selling through the rest of the year, and above which longer-term bullish continuation remains in play. I've got 177.51. Actually, let me go through. I've got, let's see here. I'm going to go to this chart. This is the day now. In light of the buy signal, under other circumstances, I might call this a session containment level, able to contain daily buying pressures. And we could from here ease back to 171.18 today, but I want to keep it light here. I think you should too. I don't think aggressive selling is warranted at 174.21 on the short side of the market. We can push or easily open above 174.21. And, we may test 177.51 then within the day if we push or open above 174.21. That's the thinking that I had initially. But as I scouted out that weekly chart, I couldn't ignore this prominent high that played out. I think that was last summer at 176.15. That was a significant high, and we fell off from there, obviously. So I'm calling 176.15 a session containment level. So with respect to the day trade, back to this image, if we push or open above 174.21, you can see here 176.15 in reach and able to contain session strength. Now, as I'll let you know that I grappled with whether to call this a session containment or a mere intraday resistance level, and I'll let you play that as you see it. I do think 177.51 is likely to be tested within the week, and it may well be today. So if we push or open above 174.21, yes, 176.15 is very respectable, but we could push through 176.15, that old high on the weekly chart, and tag the 177.51 level on an intraday basis, which is this channel top here. Now, this channel top goes back to the March low. And so it is meaningful in its own right, able to contain buying into later week, quite possibly through the rest of the week. That's why I give that 182.94 kind of a 3 to 5 week possibility, for being reached. It could be within 1 to 2 weeks. Who knows? And I will say that if we close today, for instance, above 177.51, we should within this week reach 182.94. But 177.51, able to contain buying, I'm going to say, at least on a 2 to 3 day basis. So we could top out here if we tested Tuesday, Wednesday, perhaps through the rest of the week. And so in terms of the day trade, once again, 174.21 is an intraday pivot point, above which 176.15 in reach, able to contain session strength, but know that if we push through 176.15, 177.51 is likely. Now, I know that there's a lot there for day traders. It could be a little confusing. I wish 176.15 wasn't there. What I'd like to say is pushing or opening above 174.21, you should anticipate 177.51, and you could play that, actually. I don't think 176.15 is a formidable level, but I cannot ignore it. I'd be negligent if I did not mention that this prominent high here is there, and so it may well contain daily buying pressures. And once again, if we push through it, 177.51 likely within the day, where we could top out into later week, and perhaps back into the low 170s, that 171 even to 171.18 area within 3 to 5 days of testing 177.51. If we close above 177.51 today, and I don't see it, but if so, 182.94 is likely by Friday's close, and that is once again that all-time high from January of 22, where we could actually double top for the week. I'm just going to keep that as a 3-star weekly resistance area at 182.94. I don't see a long-term double top here. I do think we could top out here for a week, possibly several weeks, possibly back into the low 170s again within 3 to 5 weeks of doing so. But at some point, I'm going to say by the end of June, we should take this area out and continue on up, perhaps by the end of the year, to the 217.88 channel top. Now for the downside, I'm going to go back to this chart here, that opening below 174.21 and holding below 174.21. And you aggressive day traders can sell this, I think, carefully, because below 174.21, we can ease back to that 171.18 channel top on the weekly chart. And once again, on the daily chart, it comes in at 171 even. This is our base of support to buy, not only for the day, not only for the week, not only through the month, but through the rest of the year, because I'm anticipating longer-term bullish continuation above 171.18. Now, if we close below 171 even, it really is 169.47 that we need to settle below at the end of the week for this buy signal to be completely rejected. And so I'll go back to this chart here, that if we close below 171.18, today at 169.47 or lower, you can see lower right here, the 1% below 171.18 doesn't look good. But there's a lot of time left for the market to potentially recover and close the week back above 171.18. So I don't want to make any strong assumptions if we happen to sell off today and close at 169.47 or lower on Monday. But as we continue into later week, and if we fail, if we fall back and close below this 171 handle support, and we settle Friday at 169.47 or lower, in other words, 1% below this area, that is a clear-cut buy signal rejection, an actionable sell signal under that scenario. I would regret the whipsaw that I would potentially have put you through having, just a week ago telling you to buy out of the money puts. Now I'm telling you to buy out of the money calls. And if we close back below 171.18 by a 1% margin, it would be back to buying 180, buying out of the money puts. And that's just the way it goes sometimes. But the beauty with the technical analysis is it's clear cut, it's very precise. There's not a lot of head scratching. It really comes to play here at 171.18. Holding above it, longer term bullish continuation. Closing below it by a 1% margin on Friday. Classic of rejection of a long-term buy signal that should carry weight as we move into later May and even into June trade. My first target would be 164.99. You can't even see it in the support resistance area. I'll scooch down here. It's the lowest number that I have right now. So if we close back below 171.18 by that 1% margin, we actually could within the week, like if we did it today, we could within the week actually test 164.99. But if we close Friday 169.47 or lower, 156.25 becomes our next 2 to 3 week target. And I think that we could unravel even in a more significant way. I'll go into that later in the week if that comes to pass, that we close back below 171.18 today, for instance. But until then, I'm pushing 11 minutes here, so I'm going to jump off. Bullish above 171.18 through the rest of the quarter, through the rest of the year, and I'm going to leave it at that. That's all I've got for Monday's Apple Report. Please click like, subscribe, check out wickedstocks.com. I'll be back tomorrow. You have a great day.